There's
Mhm.
a lot that comes into it. There's a lot of detail that comes into it that
Mhm.
you don't, when you're just struggling just to see your child, you don't really think about these things until now you have your child. And
Absolutely.
then now you have to communicate with the other parent to make sure these things are happening. So
Mm.
making sure they're eating right, making sure they're going to school on time,
Yeah.
making sure they got the right clothes and things. Because he's a boy and
Mm.
she's a female, and she doesn't
Mm.
have any other children, just the one. So
Mm.
there's things as a guy, you're supposed to wear a certain way or the certain sizes and things
Mm.
like that. So these types of little things is what then comes next as a result from that. And even though, say, you're not on good terms with the parent, you still have to make sure these things are happening. Don't get me wrong. Some people don't have these issues,
Mhm.
and some people may have. In my
Mhm.
circumstance, yeah, I had to pay attention to these things and ask these types of
Mm.
questions. And it's what parenting's about, like, you monitor these things like normal, like standardly, but obviously there's a barrier with these simple things when you're not getting along with the person and you don't really want to speak to them, but
Yeah.
you have to for the child's sake. So then it's
Mm.
about learning, okay, how do I communicate these things and how do I monitor these things
Mm.
successfully without it becoming an issue? Because even normally, a thing that you might see as important, the other person might not see as important. So again, going back to parenting styles and even more values, you can put those things on the list as well. There's all these things that you have to take into consideration when you're now a co-parent and you're looking at, okay, how we're going to parent. These are the things that I like my child to do, or I like my child to have, or
Mm.
this is the way I want him parenting. But then that might clash with the other, and you've already got clashes
Absolutely.
on top of that. You've already got your personal issues. So
Mm.
there's a lot that comes into it that when you're just struggling just to gain constant, like, consistent access with the child,
Mhm.
that you don't think about until it now comes into play, because now you've got access. Now these are the
Absolutely.
next steps. So how do we do this without clashing?
Mm. It's so funny because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, like about my situation, like with my eldest daughter.